Good afternoon, folks. It's Saturday, June 12, and I'm just finished up a big log, cutting it up for some neighbors who had a big tree that was endangering their house, and so they had to cut it down, but it was a good pine tree, darn big one, and a couple of the logs I was able to retrieve, and I'll show you the time lapse of the cutting of the butt end log, the biggest log. They're not that long, uh, 10 feet, which is a good thing because between what that one is and the other log, that one, that's all that could fit on my trailer. I'll post a picture of what that looked like when we loaded it. So, excuse me, I'll have a time lapse following this little chat to show you the cutting up. The majority of it, I think in the hot weather, the battery ran out on the camera, so I don't think I captured it all. But I think I probably caught the most interesting parts, the places where I screwed up. Not a big deal, but you'll notice in one spot where I'm trying to flip the log over, uh, that I bumped my rails and knocked them askew, so I had to reset all that. Again, not a big deal. It's all tied together nice and tightly, so it was easy to move it back in place. I haven't got the rails secured to the concrete pads yet because I just want the concrete to cure and to get everything stabilized with regards to square and level before I really bolt the whole thing down. So it was inevitable I was going to knock it around a bit, especially with a log this size. But these logs or these planks, they're about 28 inches wide, 10 feet long, and I'm cutting various thicknesses for them, inch and a half, inch and 3/4. I'll probably they've asked me for one that's 2 inches thick, so I'll probably take it out of that log. And then a whole bunch of pieces that are 1 inch thick. And it's in, the wood's in really good shape. Looks nice. And I've got it over here. So this is all this stuff here, and that, and that, and a piece on there. And I've got a few pieces that I'm keeping for myself over there. As you can see, that's all from one log. So there's lots here for them to work with. They want to do a little bit of furniture stuff with it. I think they're going to give away some of it to some friends. And I'll carry on with finish stacking all this wood up. And I'll cut into that one. I won't bother showing that. You'll get enough footage out of the one piece there to give you the idea of how it went. I did have to shave off an edge on here because this is the root end, and it flared out just enough to not be able to get through the saw. You can cut 30 inches, but depending on the shape of the log, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get a straight run through here. So there was a bit of a curve to this. There was a gap on this side that there wasn't anything I could do about. And this side had to be shaved off just a bit, right there. I didn't lose much. You'll see that in the time lapse. And certainly 28 inches is more than enough. That flare wasn't really going to be useful anyways. So the saw functioned well as usual and gave me nice flat even cuts. But it is time for me to, now that I've run a bunch of logs through, it's now time to get this rail dialed in nicely as far as being level and square, certainly from side to side. It's close, but I am noticing a little bit of a wedging to it, an uneven cut from one end to the other. Certainly not very much, but it's enough to get me to set this completely right, and then I can bolt it all down. Okay, more to follow.